Hello and welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Horizon 4 with another team adventure. For this one we are going racing with kind of the big three German kind of luxury brands, if you like. We have Audi versus Mercedes versus BMW. There's a lot of Audis in this. There's a lot of Audis on my team. There's a couple of Beamers, but not many. Yeah, I thought we'd done this. I don't think we've ever done this one. Certainly not for a very, very long time. And I wanted an excuse to drive this RS4. It was built for something. I can't actually remember what class it was built for. That didn't happen because Forza was broken on that evening, and then yeah, I don't think it ever ended up getting used. So I thought I'd go with the RS4. It's all-wheel drive, has 500 horsepower and rally tyres. It's pretty solid overall as far as an A-class build goes. At least that is the hope. It might not have the ultimate top speed for some of the tarmac stuff. There is probably going to be some cars faster. The Z4 may well outhandle me. I suspect it's smaller and lighter. I like the bravery with the really classic bends. I didn't actually think about that one. I do have an A-class one. I think I do have quite a fast A-class one, all-wheel drive rally converted one, if you will. Yeah, not a bad shout as far as vehicles go. Oh, sorry, sorry, hammer. We've got a lot of grip through here. Oh, and the hammer is lagging a little bit. We're going to try and duck underneath the unfortunate RS3 that felt the lag hammer hit the back of it. We should maybe get past that. So I absolutely love the hammer. It is a wonderful... I don't know how to describe it. It's a wonderful car. However, it's not very good in Forza. I just can't seem to make one work in classes. It just doesn't seem to be any good. It looks amazing and it's just got the best name, but it is not actually a great car, unfortunately. In the game, at least, we're talking here. Oh, I may have got a little too late on the brakes. Don't necessarily follow the car ahead of you because they might miss their braking point as well. We're up to fourth. I mean, it's not a bad start considering we were basically all the way down at the back. To have recovered our way up here, yeah, it's certainly not terrible. So we'll try to chase down a classic Benz. I can't remember, is it 280? Something like that, the convertible one. Okay, so the Z4's got all the handling, nothing in terms of straight line speed. Okay, that's what I expected. It means it'll be smaller and lighter than my RS4, so it's not so surprising. It'll be smaller and lighter, but have less power. So on a track like this, for these long straights, the RS4 with its large amount of power will be I say large, about 500 horsepower. It's not bad for A-class, but in that particular battle, we will just outrun Beamer down any of these straights. I don't actually know what car is leading the way. I think it was another RS4, actually, come to think of it, but I am not 100% sure. I mean, this thing so far is just a good, sensible car. It doesn't feel extraordinary, and I think there may be possibly faster ways to build it, who knows, but this is just a solid, fast A-class car. It handles pretty well, it handles very consistently, decent straight line speed, decent acceleration, good off-road, and for this kind of thing it's going to hopefully, the theory is going to score consistent points. You know, we're going to be scoring good points each round of the adventure in whichever road surface we might be on. I don't know whether you would have heard that, but two cats came running into the office at full speed, turned around and ran out again. I think Abaddon was chasing cats, but I'm not 100% sure. Now I hear a meowing kitten. Oh dear, somebody has the zoomies. Oh dear indeed. Right, come on, let's go chase down this Merc. We are closing in on it. It's whether we're going to run out of that. In fact, we're closing in on second place as well. The leader is gone, and I think faster than me, we're not going to be able to match that vehicle. Certainly around here, who knows, maybe other tracks, the performance will be different. So Quattro up in second, good choice of car, really. Can't go wrong with Quattro. In general, pretty good A-class car. I think I've run one before. I certainly have one for something in my garage, probably have run it before in some sort of event, because yeah, there's just a good solid all-round car. Oh no, it is a Hammer that's up at the front that's pulled over for some reason. Maybe got bored and fancied a race. You know, if you've got a Hammer working that quickly, then damn I am impressed. I don't know what it's got in it, but that is ridiculously fast for a Hammer, how far that got out in front, so fair play. I'm now jealous of that build, because I can't get mine to work, whatever I do to the damn thing. We're going to have a go at the Mercedes here. Come on, can we have a look along? So we draw alongside, we are very, very even in terms of straight line speed down here. The Hammer looks like it may be a smidge faster. We're going to try and get the braking done, which we do. Stop it, turn the car, just park it on the apex, make it difficult for the Merc to get off of the corner, which we have done. It's going to fight back a little bit. It is going to be lighter, of course, than the RS4 here, and it is to the outside heading into this next section. If you can hold it around the outside for one part, you will be on the inside for the final corner, but the inside line is not always what you want. It's a very tight line through there. Is that Hammer ludicrously fast down the straight? That's the question for it. I feel like it might be. Possibly. It's always going to be ludicrously good somewhere, how far of a lead it managed to get. Oh, come on, get into turn 1 there. Now, can we do anything about the Quattro on the final lap? We have kind of caught up, although the gap didn't really shrink much that lap around, so I don't know where we're going to find a way past, if we are going to find a way past. The hairpin, nice. This car is just so... I say planted, it's just so easy to drive. There's nothing really, no real troubles for it. The Hammer is to the door but doesn't quite, or to the corner but doesn't quite get past. We were a little slow coming off of the dirt there, maybe. Oh, a little bit of understeer through there. Nothing too bad. Just have a little bit of a lift. Still an Abaddon meowing in the background. Apparently Abaddon is either a fan of the Audi or not a fan. I don't quite know what the meows are. Can we translate the... It's just Abaddon wants to play. What we've got going on there. Poor Cass is on the receiving end. Oh, there's a Mercedes behind us having a look. And that may well fancy a go into these final corners. It's not the greatest overtaking spot, though, through here. So it might prove difficult to find a way past. We kind of try to cover the inside as best we can. Will it outrun me to the line? We'll chase it across the road and make it awkward, but I can't put it in the wall. It is going to just manage to outrun us, I think. Down to the line it does. Okay, well, fair play for the Hammer working. As I said, I thought that was an RS. I don't know why I thought I saw them driving an RS4. There is not another RS4 in the field, so I must just be going blind. Either way, it's a 1-2-3 for Red Team. We had some very good cars out there. It was the 280 that will take 4th ahead of the Z4. Blue Team's Hammer would come home in 6th place. It's a good start for Red Team, that much is for sure. So, we head next to the Lakehurst Copse circuit. Now, should be okay here. Ooh, okay, well, we start towards the front. Be curious to see if we can match the Hammer for pace anywhere. We know it's got a little bit more top end than we do. I mean, that is about all that I know as such. The handling-wise, fairly even. It might be a smidge better. The Z4, we know it handles us, but we outrun it. This track, a little bit more for the... I think for the power cars. A little bit more for the top speed machines. But there are some nasty corners that if you don't have enough grip, will get you into trouble. So the Z4 can probably be very quick through there. Turn 1 and 2 notorious for missed checkpoints. So we will see how that goes as the race pans on, however you want to say it. That corner there, you could also miss the checkpoint on, as I very nearly did, because I'm a plank. And so you have some cars behind. I think maybe either too many vehicles trying to fit through a small space, or yeah, it's just simply trying to be a bit greedy. You can end up missing that checkpoint. So this is the corner that I'm worried about a little bit in the RS4, although it's actually not too shabby through there whatsoever. Okay, that's good. Can we chase down the... Damn, the Z4 is really good through this corner. Now, admittedly, I maybe went in with a lot of speed through there. I kind of carried a lot of speed on the way in, but messed up my line on the exit. That probably didn't help matters. If those two fight each other, I mean, I'm all for it. I know we're on the same team as the Hammer, but points-wise, are A, looking very strong for us at the moment, and B, I mean, we've got no one behind us at the moment that's anywhere even remotely close, so it does look like it's going to be these two for the lead, and maybe if I can not, I just can't quite carry the same corner speed. Annoyingly, I can't carry the corner speed of the BMW, but my top end is not enough. Top speed is not enough for me to kind of reel it back in again. Okay, well, we need to not make mistakes. That's going to be important, regardless of what my car is capable of and not capable of. If I make mistakes, it's always going to be problematic, really. Do we need maybe a little tap on the brakes? Yeah, we do. We need a small tap on the brakes. It's not going to be flat through there. back to the RS4, but we don't really need to worry about going up into 5th through there. That's fine. We will better this time around. We didn't quite throw it in with crazy levels of speed, so that's good news. We see this lap. Okay, we lost most of that time at the start of the lap, but it's just this is one of those agonising drives where my car is just a little bit, a combination of my car and me, whatever it is, just a little bit too slow. It's just a little bit down on those vehicles ahead. And there's nothing I can do. I can watch their amazing battle, and I wish I was able to be a part of it. But I haven't got any more speeds to give. We are miles clear of 4th. I think 4th is that classic Merc. Points are still very much in red team's favour. Blue team have not had a great start to this one. Some shenanigans on the opening lap have not gone well for them. Oh, okay, lift. Bad angle through there for me, slightly, but oh yeah, it is just going to be let's watch the cars ahead fight. Just needed that. We just need either that little bit more straight line speed or that little bit more grip. I think I prefer the grip option in this one, to be honest. I mean, like the straight line speed aspect sure is great and everything, but if you've got the grip, you actually can maintain the quarter speed. But you can maintain the momentum going onto these straights, and then your maybe lack of power isn't as bad, if that makes sense. I hope it does. We're on to the final lap anyway, and try as we might, I'm not sure that we're going to see. We might not even see much of the action, sadly. We might fall a little bit too far back. It was a good battle. Oh, it was a good battle up there. And the hammer missed the checkpoint. I said it was a dangerous area. I said it was an area that is really easy to cut too much to the inside. Normally that one happens when you are racing wheels to wheel with another car. They might have been side by side, I didn't see. But yeah, it's normally if you're having a dive on the inside of somebody, that's when you end up doing that one. Turn 1 and 2 is when you miss a checkpoint just from out braking yourself. However, yeah, I've done it where you just turn in too tight, even on your own, and you end up missing the checkpoint. I mean, we're going to get away with it by the looks of it. Yes, I am far too far back to do anything about that BMW, but points-wise are still looking quite good for us. Not as comfortable as it was, but it's still going to be enough. We'll cross the line in second. I mean, at the end of the day, a podium is a podium. I'll take it where I can, but yeah, it was not a great showing from the RS. It was the third best car here, but it was a bit of a distant third. Either way, it's 2-0 to red team. So we head next to the Mortimer Gardens Scramble, a very different sort of circuit. Our first two tracks have been sort of quite long, quite fast. This is a bit technical on dirt. There's a water section. I don't know what we're going to do. I'm going to expect my RS4 to be quite good. I'm going to expect the Z4 to be relatively good, and I'm going to expect the Hammer to be fast. Other than that, though, who knows? The Quattro might work better here. We will see how that one goes. Nothing. I'm trying to think of any SUVs that would have been. Yeah, you could have probably got the BMW SUVs to maybe work in A-Class. No one did go down that route. But yeah, nothing here is going to be particularly better on the water than the others with the ride height. I'm on rally suspension, but a lot of cars probably will be. Also, if you do have an SUV, you will gain speed. You'll be faster down the water section to gain speed, but you won't lose as much speed when you hit the water. I'm hoping the RS4 will be faster than the Z4 down here. I imagine it would be. We should have slightly more ride height. That is a thing in Forza. That's not just me making stuff up. Genuinely, ride height does make a difference in the water. And I believe we are better through that section than the the BMW. Okay, so we're going to have to work to find our way past. Honestly, if I can hang with it through most of the lap, when we get to the water section, I should just be able to fly past it, but we will wait and see. I don't know what drive the BMW is. It looks like it may be rear-wheel drive. I like an alternate line coming off of the bridge. It's about the same in terms of speed. It might be a smidge faster if you do it right. But I do like taking this alternate line. If I've got a car that's good enough, and a car that I'm comfortable with, which I am in this Audi, I do like that alternate line coming off of the bridge. We're just better on the gravel here. We can just fly past the BMW, actually get it before the water, and now we will be clear into the lead of the race. We'll understeer a smidge through there. I think that's a two-wheel drive BMW. Oh, the hammer's gone very wide. The hammer was pushing that, and a little bit too much for the big AMG barge. Okay, let's try and not make any silly mistakes here. We may well be able to get a victory here with the RS4 if we don't do anything crazy dumb. That is the downside of my alternate line coming off the bridge. If you get it wrong, you will crash into the monument, which is not good. If you get the other line wrong, you have to get the other line really wrong to hit something solid. So, yeah, maybe now I'm ahead, I want to stop doing that. Probably a good idea, actually. Let's just play the try not to hit scenery game, because I have done that too many times. I mean, you play Horizon 4, it's going to happen. You know, you're gonna, when you're pushing the cars. Jesus, the hammer went exploring last lap. I think it's very quick. We are going to probably have to defend. I mean, we'll defend from our teammate. We've got plenty of points here. We are doing well in the adventure overall, so there's no need to do anything too risky. Okay, we'll go back to a more usual line through there. We've got a couple of laps to go. Let's try and be neat through this section, which we are. Hope that the Z4, well, I say hope the Z4 holds up the hammer. Of course I want the Mercedes to overtake, but I want it to not have enough time to chase me down. So we're kind of hoping the BMW can hold it up just for a little bit. Just for long enough to make it really difficult for the big barge to do anything about chasing me down. Oh, it's gone very wide again through there. Struggling with that particular corner. It's a nasty corner. It's always tempting to throw the car in with a lot of speed through there, and you don't always have the grip to make it work. We will run up towards turn 1, and their fighting has really given me a chance to build a gap. Yeah, I'm probably the second quickest car around this track, if I'm honest. But sometimes traffic and whatnot will play its part, and you know, at the end of the day, you've got to make the most of the chances presented to you. This was a good opportunity for the RS4. We will jump our way down here. Oh, there's a little bit of a shonky line, but thankfully I'm so far ahead that it doesn't really matter too much. There's a couple of cars we're catching, I think, may well be not on rally tyres. That would be... on a track like this, not on rally tyres, you might struggle. Depends on, I don't know what the cars are, actually, to be fair, back there. Looks like the hammer might have got the pass completed for second. Oh. And we will run up, and we will take a victory. The RS4 comes good at the Mortimer Garden circuit. Yeah, I mean, as a track, I guess it was likely to kind of work all right for my car. We do beat that hammer while Stallion gets the BMW into third place. I think it was two-wheel drive, which it looked like. That's a good show for a two-wheel drive car. Either that or it might be quite a rear-biased all-wheel drive. It looked like it was sliding around a lot more than I'd expect if it was an all-wheel drive. Quattro ends up in fourth. Yeah, we get enough points here for the red team to take a victory, and they will take the overall adventure as well. Still a couple of rounds to go. We head next to the Bamburgh Coast circuit, a relatively fast track. This one, well, we start on pole. That's something, you know. I like that. Yeah, this probably isn't going to be the best. I think the RS4 is going to be strongest at the kind of stop-starty circuits with some acceleration. You kind of want stop-starty circuits with decent length acceleration zones. If they've got too many corners, the Z4 will just thrash it. But if we've got those bit longer acceleration zones, then the RS4 I think will be quite good. Here, we may well lead early on, but I think we'll get passed by the hammer and possibly the BMW. Now this track does generally work a little bit better for power cars. Of all the tracks in the game, this is one of the more suited to your straight line speed machine. So we may be able to fend off against the Z4, but I just don't think we can do anything with the hammer. I think that outturns me and outruns me in a straight line, and when you do that, it's very difficult to beat. We'll see what we can do here. We are up into the lead of the race. We've got a Mercedes between us and the hammer at the moment. I don't know how long it's going to last. But yeah, you know, when you get these decent spots on the grid, when you get these opportunities, you've got to make the most of it. I can build as big a lead as possible now. Fantastic. We can make it difficult for cars behind, you know, or limit the number of laps they have to try and overtake us. I wonder how fast that 280 is down the straight. I imagine it could be quite fast. By the looks of it, it's about keeping pace with the RS4. Okay. Wonder whether that had a lot of power. It was going to come shooting past, but it didn't. Turn 1, always a tricky one here. This section, easy to miss checkpoints. Also easy. Oh, okay, quite a little understeer. Also easy to end up out wide and in the fence. There's a railing that you can hit that will kill all of your momentum. You don't want to be out that far wide. However, everyone has made it through the front group, at least. Third through there. Maybe I could have gone out to seconds, to be honest, just for that initial exit. But either way, we are out of the corner. Okay, Z4 is behind us. Then the Hammer. The Mercedes has dropped to 4th, but still not a bad showing. The classic car. I'm surprised. I really thought the Hammer would be kind of marching its way through here. So far it hasn't. Not to say it won't though, let's face it. Let's get this section right. Ooh, my gears are not quite ideal for this track. They've worked elsewhere, but they are a little bit too long. It's okay. It had no problem on the off-road stuff, but here it's like, do I want second or do I want third? And it's a bit of a pain. We may be able to make life awkward for that Z4, but I think it's just going to be too good handling through here. I think it's just going to be too fast. We can hopefully park it on the inside down here. Okay, if you want to get past, you're going to have to go the long way around. Now, what I'm going to end up doing is we're going to back the BMW up into the Mercedes. And that works for me. If they start fighting one another, that's great. However, it also runs the risk of A, them both passing me in one go, quite possible. I don't think the Z4 is going to be close enough to have a look down here. That's fine. We're just going to be parking it. Now, this is going to be very annoying to the Z4 because it's going to sit all over the bumper. And yeah, we're going to do basically what I said. We're going to slow the Z4 down, feed it back into the Hammer, and the Hammer's then going to outrun it down the straight. So now the Z4's got 2 cars it can out-handle, but it can't overtake because as soon as we get to this long straight, we pull away. Oh, I've gone very deep into turn 1. The only plus point is, the Hammer couldn't stop it, and the BMW has got past. The only plus point is turn 1 is super difficult to overtake at. I want a narrow line through here. That is not where I want it to be. Z4's going to get me, unless my one hope is we can cut back underneath it. Oh, not quite. I think I might have lost out to the BMW. Yeah, I realised when I took that section, I was on the wrong line and I couldn't change it. We're already committed. And here goes the Hammer. Gonna probably get to the inside. I don't know whether it can outbrake me or not. It might. She's choosing not to. Oh, well, it chose not to, and then kind of had a second go. Now I don't know whether that was some lag. The initial falling back was some lag. That was weird. Yeah, that was kind of where I have to brake with this car, and maybe Mercedes just expected me to brake differently. I presume. Yeah, we're gonna be too far back. Okay, unfortunately the teamwork idea was grand briefly, and then it hasn't worked, because now the BMW's got past both of us, and I don't know if either of us can catch it by the end of the race. Bugger. It's just a little bit too fast. It is slower than us down the straights, but it's not that much slower than us down here, and it's still very good through the corners. If I hadn't run wide there, I would have been able to defend up here, and in theory fed the BMW back into the Mercedes again. So, yeah, unfortunately, there's nothing that even if I let the Hammer go here, it's irrelevant. It's not going to have the time. It's not got the speed down the straight to do anything. So we're going to have to fight for honours for second here. Mercedes going to look to the outside. We will again park it on the apex. Yeah, my gearbox is not quite so helpful around here. I haven't really had problems with the other circuits. I felt like I've had problems, but here it really doesn't feel like it works quite. Just the nature of the circuit, really. Yeah, BMW's quick. As I said, maybe could have held it off. A little mistake by me. Not ideal. But there we go. Good race. Really, really good race. BMW takes victory. The Audi will claim a second. I think it's been the same podium for all of the races so far. 280 gets a 4th in this one. Yeah, not quite enough speed for the old RS4. We head to our final race at the Edinburgh Station circuit. I fear a Z4 is going to thrash us all here. I have a nice spot on the grid, and my main rivals are much further back. It's going to be make the RS4 roadblock. Unless anything else suddenly gets miraculous speed here, I don't think so. I mean, this is kind of the stop-starty circuit that the RS4 might be good at. We have the traction, but honestly, I think the BMW is just so good in the corners that I don't have an answer for it. Now, we might be able to defend. That is the one thing that you know, I tried it the last race. We defended. I mean, we were defending up until I made a mistake, basically, and that is how it does go sometimes with defending. You know, you can hold a car off for a while, but you make that mistake, and you're going to be in trouble. Oh, I think I may have missed a checkpoint. We will see. You know, it's possible we'll have a similar story here. Go get past the RS Freethurst that clips the banking, gets some understeer, and I will say thank you very much for the lead of the race. They only fell back to second, though. Could have been worse. Oh, maybe, I don't know. The RS6, I thought I saw it just spiraling off to the inside. Oh, no, it has now dropped back. Okay. Don't know what's going on with the leaderboard. It might be lagging slightly because it's pinging up and down the leaderboard like crazy. That's a concern, but not one for me because we're ahead of it now. But we have a Z4. Z4 is going to be hunting us down. This isn't the longest race, you know, it's not the longest circuit, so it limits the time the BMW has to catch up. And being lower speed, maybe it'll have, I mean, I'm hoping, my hope is that it has traction problems. That's the only way we're going to really beat it, I think, is if it struggles a little bit to go off these slower corners, and we don't, because we're all-wheel drive, have big tyres, and, say, remarkably neutral, really, in terms of car behaviour. It's a little understeery when pushed very hard, but very easy to. It's easy to drive this thing. Doesn't mean you're not going to make mistakes because you still got to. You know, there's still a limit to the grip. You still got to really push it towards it, but it's a nice safe car. This one. Oh, I'm going to run a smidge wide through there. That's fine. Kind of intend to run a little bit wide there. That's a botched corner though on the exit. I mean, it's the same top three once again. We've got the BMW chasing down the RS4. And we have got an Audi, a BMW, and a Mercedes represented in the top three. Annoyingly, I'm representing Audi, and I probably have the weakest car of the three. It's good off-road, which does tend to be how my cars end up. I always like to have a good off-road car in these adventures, or I often like to have a good off-road car in these adventures. I figure that if I can have an off-road car that's capable of winning on the dirt, it's normally going to score some quite good points on the tarmac as well, so we tend to go for that way round, rather than win on the tarmac and potentially be terrible on the dirt. That was a little slow on the exit there. But where is the BMW going to go? Because I mean, the RS4, I can make it. Oh, I can make it wide, but I can also clonk the wall. God damn it! It's another little mistake while defending against that Z4 that I didn't really need here. The only plus point is there goes that sliding. That's what I needed to see. Although I just brushed the bumper of the BMW. Well, we are not going to want to give this place up. If it gets past here, I think it's gone. So we've got to try and really fight it as best we can. Use the traction. I don't know what's happened to the hammer. It's now come down to a 2-horse race here. Right. So the BMW does have little traction issues. Nothing crazy, but it has a little weakness here. Okay, that's good to know. That's very good to know. Again, my gearbox isn't helping at this circuit. I can't do anything about it now, but it's just something to bear in mind. Okay, open the steering up on the exit of that corner. That's much better through there. That's how we should be taking it. Now, if we can keep doing that, we can maybe keep the Z4 at bay. We've only got to keep it at bay. We've actually had a really good lap here. We've pulled a little gap back to the BMW here. Oh, onto the back straight we go. Let's not do anything stupid now. Yeah, because we can pull that gap down here. We saw... we don't breeze past it easily, but we are certainly faster than it down these straights. This has been a good lap for the RS4. One more time around. What can we do? No silly mistakes, basically. Focus on that. Oh, focus on not making mistakes. Hope the Z4 has some sliding, and then we might be golden. I mean, it's too far back to try anything here, which is good. We'll accelerate away from it. This next corner is the killer. This is the problem corner, really, for me. Okay, that's pretty good from the RS4. It's pretty good. We brushed the curb a little bit, but it wasn't enough to put us out too wide. Again, carefully does it. This is where the Z4 is going to catch, but can it get an overtake? I'm going to cover that inside. I'm going to make it take an awkward line through these corners because it's not going to be able to out-drag me down here. The hammer is there. It's kind of watching, much like I was at the second race. The hammer's watching, but not quite close enough to take part. It have to be a big dive from the Z4 if we wanted to get past. I will cover that inside. It will not outrun me to the line. Great race once again. The Audi will take victory in this one. Again, I don't think it's quite the fastest car, but it's good enough and I can park it in awkward places. I can make it very difficult to overtake. It has its strengths, and that circuit is probably the better circuit for it. That circuit, the off-road stuff, the RS4 is pretty good. We got a couple of wins, pleased with that. Really with the RS4 because it really wasn't the very fastest car in that group, but could make the most of its strengths at certain circuits. Oh, that was... yeah. It started off a bit slow, got manic in those final couple of races. It was good fun. It was good fun. I like the RS4. As I said, it's just a really good overall car. It's not going to be the very fastest thing, but it's always going to be consistent. And sometimes that's what you need, certainly for this kind of thing. But that is going to be it for this team adventure. If you'd like to sign up to take part in the next one of these, you can via our Discord. There'll be a link in the description. Find the Versus the Community sign up, and you can register to take part in there. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.